All right, hello. It's 30 minutes late, but here we are. We're getting started for our very first episode of Ironsworn Starforged, titled No Force in the Verse. Comment below if you understood that reference. Otherwise, don't say it out loud. Um, this is going to be our very first time playing Ironsworn in Starforge. But big thanks to Modifius for publishing and the wonderful Sean Tompkin for creating this game. This is, of course, replacing our 5th edition game that we won't be going back to anymore because, reasons. But it's fine. We're here to try something new, and I'm excited. That being said, I have three wonderful people here joining me tonight in our spacefaring pursuits. I will go ahead and give everybody a chance to introduce themselves and also go ahead and, for this first open, tell us who you're going to be playing and tell us a little something about them. Don't go too deep or too long, but give us a little quick rundown of who they are. We'll start with Dugler.
Hi, everybody. I'm Google93. You've got me on other shows on the channel. I am playing Ava Donslow, call sign Tusi. The- Uh, she's an engineer with a symbiote.
Sweet. Excellent. Love it. We'll go ahead and drop down to the next person, Naomi.
Hi, I'm Naomi. I'm going to be playing Gili tonight. She's sort of like a mystical herbalist, I guess. Yeah, she likes to work with the flora of the sector and try to see what's going on with that.
Mm-hmm. And last but certainly not least is my wonderful wife, Shay.
Hello, I am Shay, and today I'm going to be playing Surukyo, a kinetic. Um, uh, 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 Sorry, brains stopped on me. Empath. Thank you. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, that's all very wonderful to hear about our crew. You all have been a crew for some time now. You are aboard the spacecraft, the Freya's Wrath. That is what we agreed on for this wonderful little ship. And for the sake of this, we'll just go ahead and set up a couple of things before we jump too deeply into it. There are safety tools in place. If there's ever anything that is considered not okay or taboo, just remember that there's a card deck down in the bottom right corner for the players to see. Um, Usually, it's just better to pick the choose option because it brings it up. I'll periodically check in as well if any of the topics get a little too heated. Just drop that X card there on the screen if anything crosses a line. But we've all gamed together for a pretty long time, so we tend to know what stuff is on the no list. But if anything at any moment makes you uncomfortable, um, dropping that X card is the best way. And just understand that I'm not perfect, so if I do not see it, especially because this map is fairly large and I might be zoomed in a little too much. If it doesn't become obvious, I think the control shift Z shift Z should maximize it. I think everybody has that ability, or maybe it's just me. I'm not sure. Nope, just me. Never mind.
Yeah,
That's a
doesn't
lie.
work.
That's a lie. I lied. Um, if it's not seen right away, um, of course, we have our Discord chat as well, and feel free to just say, "Hey,
Yeah,
not seeing that thing."
feel free to go X.
I mean, yeah, even just declaring it, but I like the anonymity of being able to just set the card down if there's a problem because that just means it's a full stop. How do I return the card? I think I just tell it to take all of them back. Recall.
Oh, I know this is kind of like since we haven't gotten into it yet.
We have not. No.
Am I actually? Because it just occurs to me now. Am I actually able to name my AI Freya?
I mean, you could change the name to Freya. Yes.
Okay.
You just want Freya to identify as the spaceship.
Maybe. Yeah.
Final answer.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it was a fun acronym while it lasted, but now it's Freya.
Oh, well, now I want to
Nope.
skip the acronym.
Nope, too late.
Nope, it's the acronym now.
I said final answer, and you already said yes.
No.
There's no going back from
I want
final
the
answer.
acronym.
Too late.
Freya. No.
Freya.
You said it was fun, and it must remain fun.
Nope. It's Freya.
No. Nope. Yes.
Dougler has overridden you by laughing.
No, Dougler, unoverride it.
I'm gonna enjoy picking on my wife as always.
I say let her do what she wants. There's nothing.
No, if I let her do what she wants, then this will be chaos.
Yet.
This will be only chaos if I let her do what she pleases.
I wanted to be the acronym now. You sounded so disappointed.
Yeah.
It has to be the acronym. Leave it the acronym.
It's staying as the acronym. It was always the acronym.
Okay.
It's too easy to mess with you. Going back to the important topic of safety tools over tormenting my wife, please just understand that as the audience, you are also entitled to not partaking in anything that makes you uncomfortable. If at any point you're not enjoying the subject matter, feel free to walk away until it comes back to something more to your liking. I'm sure this game will be a little bit of a trial and error for the first couple of episodes, so bear with us as we're getting started. That being said, you all should be able to see your sector map. So this is the sector map. Welcome to the Haunted Threshold sector. It's not anything that's visible to the audience, but the Haunted Threshold sector is where we make our start. It's where you all have put your thrusters into the forge and to set out and make your destiny. It is a very surprisingly inhospitable sector for being part of the Terminus region, which is largely where most of the populace exists. It just so happens that this sector is mostly populated by a single habitable world, 2 gas giants, and then a more barren and unforgiving ice world. But there is also a distant station where people have made their homes. There are 4 populated sites here within the Haunted Threshold. On the ocean world Triton, a settlement by the name of Wreck has been established. On the Jovian gas giant planet of Magonia, there is a orbital station called Verge. On the ice planet Ulwin, there is a settlement on the planet called Lastport, because coincidentally it is the last port you can stop at before taking one of the known travel lanes out of the sector. And often some distance is the Themis platform, which is that aforementioned station that is in deeper space. I am not by any means an astrological map maker, so this map is not actually accurate as far as distance. It's all abstract. There's no grids or marked there are grids, but there's no discernible distance between these. But I felt like spacing it out in a understandable way for everybody is the best way to do it, because obviously a water world would be closer to the sun, an ice world would be further away from the sun, and the gas giants tend to be a little further back in the middle by going off of our own star system. So keep that in relative mind. But this is not an accurate representation of orbits or anything by that means. But it is dominated by a single star, and otherwise it's fairly inhospitable. Um, with that in mind, hello Diesel Shot as well. Thank you for stopping by. With that in mind, we start right in the action. Um, the inciting incident, which was rolled up because a lot of this is rolled um, as we go and we build the narrative of the game throughout. The inciting incident is you all were sent to investigate rumors of manifestations appearing on a remote settlement. The Freya's Wrath has just come out of whatever the equivalent of fast travel would be for this setting. Which Dougler, why don't you go ahead and name what we call our travel here? I imagine they have like relatively FTL speeds, but we could just call it FTL if you like, or we could give it some cool name.
I kind of like burroways or like waypoints, I guess.
So you go into the burrowways for the ship to be able to travel from place to place.
Like that too, because I was thinking barrow or tunnel or something along
Yeah,
those
because you're
lines.
not right on the regular space; you're burrowed into it, so you go around it.
So we're kind of wormholing it, where or warp traveling.
Yeet.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I like it. Let me find a spot to make a note for that, where we're gonna call it the burrowways. All right, burrowway travel. I like it. It sounds dangerous, which is kind of why I like it. Burrowways.
And 2 cc's, nothing wrong with that.
2 cc's.
Nothing wrong with it being dangerous.
Oh, okay. Burrowways. Warp travel or wormhole travel, essentially. Okay. So you all had set off on these rumors of these strange manifestations appearing in a distant and very remote settlement. You arrive coming out of the burrowways. It's always a very shaky and almost turbulent means of travel, even though it's cutting through space. This tunnel system that exists between points is largely considered unstable, and part of the strange magic that exists within the truce of our established universe. Because we established that magic and things like it are very real. So there's a bit of a mystical element to our ability to travel as well, which would, very reminiscent of the 40K warp travel. You pray and you hope that you end up on the correct side after you've punched in your coordinates. But when you all emerge, you end up seeing that there is a planet, and the planet itself is we're going to go ahead and say it's a grave world. I'm just generating this stuff up right now. Why are you offering me all of this?
So to mechanize this, would this be an exploration move, undertaking an exploration?
Not just yet. We're still establishing the background. So this is a grave world that you all know is breathable. When you observe it from space, what you end up seeing is that it has a shattered moon. You see that this moon looks like it had been fractured at one point, maybe a comet impact or something that had severely damaged it, which is why this world has become a grave world. we can say that it damaged the tides in whatever settlements that had initially existed were wiped out. Maybe it had been a planet that was thriving, but the damage of this impact rained debris and probably caused more substantial damage on the planet. And I think we can do one more. Is there any life left besides this remote settlement? Everything is dead. All right. So
Okay.
there is a
Yeah.
yeah, everything that existed on this planet prior to the accident was destroyed. That doesn't mean that the settlement that exists now was killed in this impact, but nobody would think to look on this grave world, and maybe that's what they hoped. Maybe these people wanted to get away and hide something. They could be ne'er do wells or something of the like. Shay, what kind of people do you think live here on this this horrible grave world where everybody died?
People, we're talking about
This remote settlement.
Yeah, the settlement here. Let's see. I would say. Possibly a mixture of people who are looking to avoid certain political factions, or people who are interested in doing under the table dealings.
So a hive of scum and villainy, as it were.
Yeah, it doesn't all have to be scum and villainy. There's definitely some of that, but it can also be just people who don't like the oppressive tyranny of
Just refugees and expats, really. That's how I'm hearing it.
Also, very strange that my dice roller is so far down. All right, there we go. Fixed a minor inconvenience there for chat because it was. Oh, because it's rolling all the way up at the top. That's why it's not rolling at the bottom. Interesting.
Weird.
It's not.
It is for me. I know why it's doing that because I cleared my chat log for my earlier rolls. Okay. Beep, 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 beep. I want you to go back to where you had been. There we go. Okay. So the station or this settlement is, I rolled Koshiba and Koshiba's Hearth. That is now what it is called. It is a mixing pot, as it were, for all of the ne'er-do-wells of the sector. Koshiba's Hearth. And so Koshiba's Hearth had sent out a distress signal, and you all had traveled from Wreck to arrive here. And when you made your initial approach to enter into the planet's orbit, and the planet is unnamed, which is part of the anonymity of being able to get to Koshiba's Hearth. Only people in the know how to find Koshiba's Hearth because the planet isn't listed. It's dead. Everybody considered it gone. And so you all have arrived in one of the surprisingly empty docking stations. The lights are still on. It still shows that there's life support providing oxygen. Even though all life had been wiped out, it remains breathable, as we established. But now, instead of it being breathable because of plant life, it's breathable because this single outpost is generating enough oxygen for people to be able to subsist there. So life support seems to still be intact, but the docking bay is a ghost town. Your approach with the Freya's Wrath was automated, and there was a distress signal on loop that just said they're coming. And so now would be about the time where we first will address the need to swear the Iron Vow, because that is the first thing we do before we take any real actions. So everybody has to make the move to swear an Iron Vow, because this is the declaration that you all are going to complete this mission. So if you could, with your character sheets, find where you will need to make the vow. And then just go ahead and please do it.
Is this a move
Are
that
we-
we do together or one that we do individually?
You are doing it together because you are all, as a group, are swearing to complete this task.
Okay, so do we click add vow?
Yep.
Okay, and then so what is our
I'm going to say that this would be fairly dangerous. So the vow itself is going to be something along the lines of, well, actually, I'll just tell you what it was because we already rolled it. Your vow is to investigate the manifestations at Koshiba's hearth. And if you all want to add something to it, feel free to chime in. What do you all feel your main goal would be besides investigating this point? Do you have another objective? Are you looking for survivors? Are you hunting these creatures? What is it that drives the crew of Freya's Wrath?
I feel like as far as the investigation vow goes, yes, Kyo is going to be looking for survivors and trying to figure out what happened. But there is something a little more, because her epic vow is to learn more about spirits plaguing the Forge and learn to control or stabilize fractured dimensions. This may or may not fall within that wheelhouse, but it's a possible lead for her in particular.
So you could probably make a separate vow for yourself on that side. So it's not like hitting everybody else since this is a group vow.
That is why I said.
Yes, but we're talking about the group vow now. We don't need to truly focus on the individual ones. My question was pertaining to the group. So, what is the crew of the Freya's Wrath's main
I
goal?
think investigate the manifestation at Koshiba's hearth makes sense as a full vow. Maybe identify the manifestations as an add-on, but like we don't need to broaden it further. You know?
Okay. So then,
well, investigating means we need to find out what happened, which means learn what caused this, learn and possible like finding information in survivors would be part of that.
Subjective.
What do you think it is? Investigating would be that?
Investigating means just that. Investigating, just getting an understanding of what happened.
yeah.
So so we would need to be able to identify what happened and what these things are then. Yes.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean rescuing survivors or actually even identifying the manifestations. We just need to know what happened. Like whether it was a decimation of these people, whether it was a false alarm, the verbiage, I guess, is what makes it important, because for these kind of like moves empowered by the apocalypse games, the more simple than the verbiage, the quicker you can resolve the issue.
I might. I sort of understand your point of view with whether or not we find survivors, but I don't see how we can investigate without identifying what the problem is.
Yeah, kind of a shame on that one.
Okay.
I mean, you can see that there was an explosion without seeing what caused the explosion.
True.
Just as an example.
Um, I don't know personally. I kind of feel like
Not like super hung up on this. I was just bringing up the point that like the simpler the verbiage, the quicker it's resolved. The quicker it's resolved, the faster we get experience.
okay.
Okay. So I think we can start with this, and then if it needs to expand, we can expand it because we're dwelling too far on the verbiage. So everybody go ahead and just write down investigate the manifestations at Koshiba's hearth. I feel like this is dangerous because there's obviously a distress signal that has been sent out. So something is going on, and you all know, whether through actual encounters or just through rumor, that these manifestations, these chaotic forces, are incredibly dangerous. They have been appearing quite regularly and quite frequently throughout the forge, and it's not something that people like to be caught unaware with. So if you all could please swear your iron vow, please narrate how your character performs their particular vow, and then we can make the move and get this rolling.
I guess I'll start. Um, Gili will slowly step into, I guess, like the elevator bay to leave the ship to Freya's Wrath, and she'll clip into her. She has dermal implants in each of her jaw bones, where she clips in her rebreather, and she clips it in and takes a moment and bows her head down and just thinks deeply on, okay, we're gonna figure this thing out, and then just clips her rebreather on and flips the switch on the side, and it kind of lights up in that like old school 90s little green LED light kind of way, and you can hear like a slight like raspy pull in as she breathes the rebreather through the slightly tarnished filter.
Mm-hmm. Also, I did find if you are playing with allies, one of you makes the swear and iron vow. So not everybody needs to do it. Whoever is most connected to this quest or is at the forefront of the incident should swear the vow. You're all basically in the same position now. Others can make the aid your ally move as a way of representing their own commitment to this quest. But keep in mind that more moves mean more opportunities for failure. For the purpose of starting your campaign, it might be best to focus on the single move and not let others portray their actions in the fiction of the scene.
Gotcha.
So,
I didn't know you were talking about the move. I thought you were just looking for the description of what we were
nope.
up to.
I had asked you guys to describe and then make a roll.
Okay. Well, I don't necessarily want to just take the role without everybody of knowing that.
Oh, I mean, I can do it if we're.
I would just like somebody to do it.
All right, what do I hit?
You need to make an iron vow roll.
All right, which button is that?
So under your
It's
moves,
art.
Uh, here we go. Under moves.
should
Yeah,
be
then
under quest
quest
moves.
moves.
Swear an iron vow. And please tell us what your swearing of the vow also looks like.
Location, creatures, factor.
Bottom right, or bottom left, excuse me.
Bottom left. Meow. Bottom
Quest moves.
Aha! Okay. So, so I guess coming out of the same room, Kyo entering, grips like a little, because we swear it on iron, correct? And particularly for this setting, iron blades.
That is what we established.
Okay, so there is a small like dagger, like blade, at her side, and she draws that and just taps it to her forehead, and says, uh, "We vow to investigate the manifestations at Kushiba's hearth," and then holds the blade out to everyone else.
Keely nods and then places her hand on it.
There's a nod to, and as she reaches out, the sleeve that is her single wraps around her hands too, so it's touching the blade as well.
Okay, and then swear an iron vow. Here it is. Oh, did that do anything?
You click the.
Oh, I clicked the. Did that do anything? I figured it out.
There it is. Okay. So when you rolled, it was a weak hit, which means I need to pull up my table.
On a weak hit, you are determined, but begin your quest with more questions than answers. Take +1 momentum and envision what you do to find the path forward. That kind of makes sense.
Yep, it sure does. All right, so
Sure
I'm going to say everybody can take that momentum since you did it together. And then please follow the prompt, my dear.
All right. All right. Take one momentum, envision what you do to find the path forward. Okay. So, I feel like as our vessel docks and the doors finally open, we turn and we're met. You said the lights were still on. The atmosphere was still there. I feel like Kyo in particular, at least, because I don't want to say for anyone else, but she is very cautious and has an actual space helmet on before checking the atmosphere, double checking just in case, and then once it's done, takes it off and looking around. And I just described the area question.
You describe your path forward.
Okay, so path forward.
Or what you do to find a path forward.
Okay.
Envision what you do to find a path forward.
Oh.
What do we see here in the hangar? What is your most clear path to the next area?
I feel like since this hangar is for the most part empty, there's several doors leading to various various hallways that probably branch out to different parts of this station. But there's also, because it makes sense, like a hub of some sort that's kind of connected to all of these that can potentially offer a map or directions or
a directory, as it were.
Yes, a directory, if you will, a space directory, a spirectory.
Okay, so Suru is quick to check the area, make sure that everything is clear for her crewmates, and as you lead with your flashlight and make sure that the oxygen levels are still within a breathable range, you're very quick to notice that there is in fact a map posted up on the wall And the map has a layout of the station, or at the very least, how to reach the central hub that is connected to the spaceport where you are going to be leaving your ship. You do see that there are a few marked off areas, usually stuff that's just like there would be some like residential hubs, the central area where everybody does trading and various dealings. There's of course the cantina, and there's the more off limits section, which would probably be where the person in charge of the hearth would be situated. Koshiba, if you will, where Koshiba may be may make their dwellings, but your best bet is probably going to the common area to see where others might be or what might be the cause of this.
Comments should be this way.
Yeah, I definitely think we should keep our wits about us and head on to the common area and see if maybe we can see what happens, see if there's any remnants or any survivors. I mean, hey, we don't even know if whatever was coming has got here yet. So I kick over a dusty rock.
Yeah. You kick over a rock, and it kind of skips a little bit further than you might have expected in the lower gravity, or higher gravity, lower gravity. Higher gravity would be pressing down on you.
More
Sorry,
pressure,
yeah.
yeah.
Lower gravity makes the rock skip a little more than you may have expected, but as it bounces and skips, it only seems to just echo the sound through the silence, and there's nothing else. It's eerie how quiet this place is. A settlement like this should not be dead.
I'm not going to point out the eeriness because I feel that's obvious, but is there like an actual rock in an artificial station?
Well, it's not an artificial station, it's a settlement that is on a dead planet.
Oh, okay, I gotcha. I hear you.
Why are you doing this? My Roll20 rolled all the way back. I just lost everything I put
Oh
on.
no, we've disappeared too.
Yeah, no, it was really annoying. It just closed all of my open windows.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's annoying. Okay. I wanted that one back open and that one for reference. Okay. There we go. Now Roll20 is showing what it needs to. So run your question by everybody again with the information that this is not a fake station. This is a station on the planet where people have been existing for some time.
My question was if it was an artificial station, but it sounds like it's a station
It is not.
on a moon.
Nope, it is still a planet. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You are not unsure of this fact. It is a fact.
Yes. Which is why I am clarifying.
Mm-hmm.
Is it like domed?
So we'll say that for the sake of it, yes, this is domed because what we did establish was that the planet itself is dead. The moon had been destroyed by some cataclysmic impact, and it had caused subsequent damage to the planet. The information on what happened to the planet may not be available to you, but the settlement itself is, we'll say, it's pressurized. The planet itself is inhospitable. The hangar is connected to the settlement, so them kicking a rock is more like it would be more like they kicked some debris instead. That may clarify the narrative a little better, because a rock being inside a sealed station If you're going down a corridor, it doesn't really make sense, but it's some debris, maybe a can or some garbage, but it still nonetheless floats in this lower gravity and it's quiet.
Oh, I
The small details aren't important. It's the narrative that we build is.
All
yeah,
right.
we should just stay wary and kind of get this show on the road. This place is giving me the, I don't know, the equivalent of heebie-jeebies.
Do we want to move fast or do we want to move quietly then?
I say we stay vigilant, which is the third option.
Well, it's kind of like a add-on to the second option, I guess, because you
It's
move.
edge, shadow, or wits.
Mhm.
Okay.
Edge is wit speed, shadow is stay under the radar, and wits is stay vigilant. As far as the exploration moves go.
It is, yes. But you pose the question to your allies, so I'm waiting for one of them to make a decision.
Let's be quiet about it. That way you don't have something sneaky upon us.
Okay. So the decision is to move silently. Who's going to lead you all? And therefore, the question of leading is who's making the roll? Who has the best shadow?
I have one in shadow.
Yeah, I don't have anything in shadow.
Jay?
Oh shit. None of us do then.
mean,
Let's
we-
go quietly, even though none of us. I mean, it's not a. I mean, you can still do it. You understand the value
We're
of being
all
stealthy.
proficient, like it's
You
a
are.
one isn't nothing.
Yeah,
know?
you
Yeah.
all are capable. So you can in fact do that. So this would be setting a course, I believe, because you guys are you know where you are, you know where you're heading, so you need to figure out how to get there. So
Yeah, that sounds good. Does anyone else want to roll, or you want me to take it again?
whoever wants to roll.
Yeah. I'll roll this time.
Okay.
And setting a course is under.
Exploration moves.
In the middle.
Top middle.
Okay. And modifier should be 1 since I wanted it.
It is a strong
strong
hit.
Nice.
All right, and I still haven't found where this stuff is listed in the main book. But you sent that little handy dandy play kit, which I'm going to pull back up.
Yeah, the play kit is pretty much keeping me sane.
Yeah, because the main book's layout is great. I just can't find what I'm looking for in the moment.
The quick references are just
are
amazing.
exactly what they are.
I'm
Quick
I'm
references.
getting used to it too.
We're all getting used to it. This is a brand new game, and I love it. Okay,
Yeah.
so set a
Still
course.
very powered by the apocalypse, but yeah.
I love it. When you follow a known route through perilous space, across hazardous terrain, or within a mystery site, roll plus supply for your set of course. On a strong hit, you reach your destination, and the situation there favors you. Take +1 momentum. So I feel as though this would be. I'm going to be learning everybody's names. Ava takes point for this. You all move through corridors after maybe downloading the schematics of the trajectory map. There's like a QR code or something equivalent that you can quickly scan, and it'll bring up the map. And you follow the routes through some corridors to get to this main common area. And as you're making your way, you're all being careful, you're being observant, you're being as quiet as possible in this deathly silent place. And The corridors open into a large domed atrium. This area has more of a lived-in looking space. Um, it's a hideaway kind of location, so luxuriousness is not its main focus, but there are spots for trees to give the illusion of creating oxygen, even if there are vents that are pumping the air in nearby. um, but much like the empty corridors and halls, this area looks like it had been abandoned fairly quickly. There are signs of knocked over like chairs or tables that still have food on them, and the onset of like mold and decay have started to crop up around the area, giving away that it probably has been left this way for a little while now. It's empty. There are buildings that indicate bars or little domiciles, trading hubs, things like that, but they're vacant. And it looks like, as you're kind of looking around, it looks like there might have been a hasty retreat and then a small level of resistance to what would be these strange incursions on the station. So it looks like something had happened in this area that caused whoever was at the dome settlement to leave this area in a hurry.
All right. Spread out, search for clues.
Not too far away from me. It's like, yeah.
Here, I'm gonna try to. I don't know how to put it. Commune, I guess.
Was that directed at me? I'm sorry.
No, I'm.
Speaking out loud.
Yes.
So was Geely. She kind of was like distracted by the situation, and it's just like, wait, were you talking to me? A little airheaded at the moment.
Let's try and stay focused then, yeah?
I'll do my best.
I'll see if I can find like a security terminal, maybe.
Good
Like
idea.
a video.
I think. Actually, do I have a thing for this?
Also, we hit the wrong move, Dougler. We should have done undertake an expedition, but I imagine you were rolling shadow anyways.
Yeah.
So we'll just treat it that way. You reach the right point, envision the location, and mark progress per the rank of the expedition. So it was a dangerous expedition. So everybody, make sure you mark down those 2 ticks so that we're keeping that up.
Oh, cool! It does it automatically.
Oh, did it? Nice.
If you tap mark on your vowels, depending on what it is, like if whether it like as long as you have it checked to troublesome, dangerous, formidable, etc., and you just click mark once, then it'll do however many ticks based on that.
Sweet.
Cool.
Nice and easy.
Good to know. Keep in mind, audience, we are still learning, so this is going to be.
So I did want to bring something up. The expedition is in our vow. You would create it under progress and then mark it separately. Yeah, and this would be the expedition to the common grounds or whatever.
Okay.
So we aren't even there yet.
Yeah, you have not completed anything towards your investigation. This was just your traveling. Oh, there you go. And then it's expedition to common grounds.
And go clear progress from battlefield.
Okay. So, you all have decided to fan out and start looking around. So that would be a chance to explore the waypoint. You guys have not necessarily diverted from the expedition, but you are examining a notable location, which is here. Actually, sorry, let me pause that because you guys are still strong hit. You reach a waypoint, envision location, mark progress. So you're at a waypoint. That's what this is. So we will now roll. Mimi, why don't you roll it for me?
Yeah, I'm going to I take it we're like at a corridor intersection or something.
Yeah,
or...
you would be at an intersection, not
So
the
I'm
description
try-
that I gave earlier.
trying to recall the directory in the map, and like, hey, I remember seeing this fork. One leads off to like the living quarters and one leads to the common grounds, and like we're trying to get to the common grounds. So I'm going to, I guess, to roll wits.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Let's see, because I should get used to just using the moves, so I'm going to use the moves instead of clicking the wits button. Where did exploration and explore waypoint? Click. It didn't roll. Oh, is it behind? Yeah, it is. Strong hit.
Another strong hit.
Yes. So we're on the right path.
So on a strong hit, you choose one. On a strong hit with a match, which it doesn't specify if it is. Matches are, I think, when you roll doubles. So, sorry, I lost my place. You may instead make a discovery. You can find an opportunity, envision a favorable insight, situation, resource, or encounter, and then take +2 momentum, or you can gain progress and mark progress on your expedition per rank.
I'm gonna just take the progress on this one.
Certainly. Okay.
Yep.
So everybody should mark more progress. I'm going to keep Shay's sheet open so I can see your progress tracker as well. And now Shay,
And I'm just like, guys, it's this way. That way leads to the living quarters if we need to backpedal.
Yeah, you notate this location, a favorable spot. Shay, why don't you go ahead and roll our next one, which would be. Do we go back to undertaking an expedition? I feel like it is. I think that's right.
Yeah, we're not in combat.
Nope, not yet.
I mean, I guess we could also, well, no, because we just took progress. I was going to say if we found something, then maybe secure an advantage or gather information or something. But
no, we're not there yet. We're on the exploration side.
I want to forsake my vow.
Forsake my vow and go home. So please roll me another undertaking of the expedition, and then determine if you're moving with speed, keeping under the radar, or staying vigilant. It's edge, shadow, or wits, basically, as we established.
I feel like this is very observant right now.
Okay, so staying vigilant would be rolling with wits. And that is a miss. Because you rolled under the challenge dice, it becomes a miss. So, on a miss, you are waylaid by a crisis or arrive at a waypoint to confront an immediate hardship or threat. Do not mark progress and pay the price. So,
fun.
Yep. So you do get to decide though, because you're helping set the narrative. Or you can just tell me to pick, and I'll be the wonderful husband who doesn't set you all up for failure. You can be waylaid by a crisis or arrive at a waypoint to confront an immediate hardship or threat.
I want a crisis.
You want a crisis? Okay.
Oh no.
So there was a table for bad things. Where did it go? I know there's the suffer moves, but where's the other ones?
Confront crisis.
Bad
When your
endings.
exploration of a waypoint uncovers something dreadful, decide the number of aspects, 1, 2, or 3. Roll that number of times or choose that number of aspects on the table below. Then envision
I have no
how
idea
your
what you're
encounter-
reading right now.
They're reading Confront Chaos.
Where's that at? Oh, there.
Right next to the exploration moves. All
For
right.
each result, when you first confront that aspect within the scope of the encounter, you and your allies may mark 1 tick on your Discovery's legacy track. Which I haven't gotten to learn about Discovery's legacies, but I guess we'll learn about that soon.
Legacies, yeah, apparently.
Also, this should probably be picked by the storyteller.
Yeah,
because
I'm gonna be
you
picking
know.
this one. So first things first, I'm gonna say that since this is our first one, I'm gonna keep it very light. It's only gonna be 4. No, it's gonna be 1. So I'll go ahead and roll to confront chaos, and we'll see what we get. Oh, it didn't roll. Why didn't it roll?
I am an agent of chaos.
Roll the confront. There we go. Messenger or signal with a dire warning. Ooh, I like that. Okay. How do I make this go away? Close preview. There we go. Okay. So you all go down the other corridor, the one that had been shown on the map. You all are moving and staying vigilant as best you can, but I feel like there's something that kind of puts you guys off of your attention, and it's the sound of your comms all turning on. It flips on its own as if it was picking up a signal, and there's like soft music that's playing, and it would be the equivalent of like old-timey radio music. And what comes to my head is the like, we'll meet again, don't know where, don't know when. And as it's playing, it's not helping the situation that something is wrong in this habitat. And as the music is playing, it's Soru that hears a voice under the music that says, "Watch your step." Right as you put your foot down on something, and I need you to roll pay the price, please.
Okay. Pay to price. Pay to price. Where's that?
Bottom right. Fate moves.
Bottom right.
That's a
I think it
D100, isn't it?
I think it brings up that menu, and then you can tell it to roll. Yeah.
Oh. Tell it to roll.
It's at the top of that menu. A friend, companion, or ally is in harm's way, or you are, if alone. Oh no!
You step on a trigger and it sets off a bomb to blow up the wall behind Ava or myself or you.
I like that idea, and I'm gonna take it. You step on this pressure plate, and there is the telltale click, zip, as
when it's doing that, I just look down and I go, shit.
Yep. So you have your moment to say, "Oh shit," and it doesn't go off at your feet. Instead, a tile behind you lifts up, And let's see. I'm gonna say Dougler odds, Naomi evens. Um, okay. Yep. So um, this device shoots up from the tile, and it may not necessarily be like an explosive, but it's more like a makeshift shrapnel device. So it shoots out this projectile as it explodes because it only has to hit one person. If it was an explosion, everybody would be in danger. But I like the idea of it being this like trip mine or something that just sprays in a direction that only hits deer Geely. And
It's like
so
birdshot.
yeah, it's a the little thing lifts up and all you see is like the tube of a space shotgun emerge and you just get buckshotted.
No, not buckshot. That would probably kill.
I mean,
Yeah,
it might, but it's something. It's something that fires and hits you. So you would be rolling to, I think it's endure harm because
Yeah, endure stress
no,
or
stress would be
withstand
mental.
damage.
It's in. I think
Oh
I
yeah.
think it's endure harm because withstand damage is the one that's much worse.
Oh, it's
Uh,
for vehicles. Withstand
oh,
damage is for vehicles.
yeah. So you're going to endure harm.
Suffer 1 health for minor harm too.
You didn't roll.
Can I burn on this? It doesn't say what to roll. Um,
Is it not?
oh, what type of harm is it? Is it minor, serious, or major?
We're going to say minor.
Minor? Okay. I don't need to roll plus any of those. But can I burn 1 momentum on this?
I don't think so. I know you can burn momentum on pretty much everything, but I haven't seen a roll yet.
Well,
Because you use momentum to change the score. You don't do it preemptively.
oh, okay. Strong cat.
Yeah, because see if you
Take it
used it,
off.
yeah,
If
if you
you're
would,
not wounded, take 1 health. Embrace the pain. Take one. Oh, embrace it and just take the momentum, and
you just
then I guess I get more instead of giving some away.
okay. So yeah, so this
It
makeshift.
gets caught up in my I'm wearing like a baggy kind of like 90s style cargo outfit and it gets caught up in the like cargo pants and kind of tears, but we're in pressurized atmosphere, so it's
Mhm.
not like I'm losing pressure,
Yeah,
oxygen.
and it's very clear that this this thing was designed to hit something that is not as well padded or armored as you are. It looks like it was meant to hit something um, more fleshy, which is a little concerning because you see that there are like bits and jagged edges and cutting sides, and it could have been bad if you were in like a pressurized suit, even, but you were just in your baggy padded clothes and your rebreather for safety's sake. But in this instance, your clothes managed to take the worst of it, so you're fairly fine. But you do have this moment of the three of you looking at each other and realizing that
Like fuck.
yeah, this place is booby trapped, and that
It's like the
danger.
Goonies.
Good job, Keely.
Oh.
Good job, Keely. Now we learned a lot from that.
Thanks for stepping on that there pressure plate.
No need to thank me. But
Yeah, I
that
gotta keep
does
me on my toes somehow. And I give you a wink.
that does tell me
Good job.
hello. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Who do we lose?
Oh, the music bot
bot.
because I wasn't
Okay.
playing music.
Oh, okay. That tells us a couple things. One, there's probably still people here, and two, there's probably something corporeal that managed to infiltrate here.
Oriole is a lot easier to deal with than Incorporeal.
Can
Speak for yourself.
Can I pick up one of the pellets and like examine whether it's like ecto bullets or whether it's just like softer
It just
softer
looks like
pellet?
makeshift shrapnel.
Okay.
I'm
I don't
gonna.
think it's necessarily that. I think they're just working with the resources they had. They're working with pretty much limestone here. Like it crumbles on my fingers.
I'm going to. I'm going to tap into my comms, or just. I'm going to talk to the ship. I'm going to say, Sophie, are you able to track that signal that we just got? And I would like to. Is it maybe gather information?
I think so. I think that would be a good choice. And get some details on this signal. Get them deets. It's a weak hit.
Weak hit.
On gather information. On a weak hit, the information provides new insight, but also complicates your quest. Envision what you discover, and then take +1 momentum. So you all probably hear because you're sharing a communication channel. Soru asks a request of the Freya's Wrath's onboard AI by the name of Sophie. And Sophie chimes in and says, "Of course, ma'am. I'll have this information for you in a moment." And you hear like the dial tone waiting music that is imposing itself over the eerie radio music. And it says, "Ah, I seem to have found the source. It's a signal being projected from the local watering hole."
Okay. So, let me read that again. But also complicates the quest.
I am detecting several life signatures within the vicinity.
Sophie, are they human life signatures or something else?
Inconclusive.
That complicates things. Well, stay frosty. Thank you, Sophie.
My pleasure. Dugler, please, once everybody has had the chance to recompose themselves and realize that they're not going to die, at least not at this moment, please make the next Undertake Expedition roll and decide at which pace.
Can I just say, this is wild how the challenge dice can make something impossible or super easy.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't we get legacy discoveries for that? Hold on, let me.
Wait, that did happen. What was that for?
That was for the confront chaos, I think. No, that was it. I forget.
It was something Shay had. You're right. What was that? Legacy discoveries.
Pay the price.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mark 1 tick on your discoveries legacy track for confront chaos. What does that mean?
Oh, well,
And
she
is
doesn't.
that
She gets one or
just-
the other, and so she confronted chaos.
Okay.
Right? Isn't that what it said, Hud?
Okay. I'm just gonna read the full thing.
Yes, that's the best way.
When your exploration of a waypoint uncovers something dreadful, decide the number of aspects you decided 1, roll that number of times, or choose that number of aspects on the table below. Then envision how the encounter begins. For each result, when you first confront that aspect within the scope of the encounter, you and your allies may mark 1 tick on your Discovery's legacy track.
Oh. Discovery's legacy track.
There's a legacies tab on the character sheet.
Yes.
So do we mark one or do we not mark one?
It says you do.
Yeah.
I don't know what that
And this is all how you get experience.
That's what that is.
Progress, vows, legacies, they're all different means of experience.
Yeah, I was gonna say, good old powered by the apocalypse. You get better by failing.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So, Dougler, please determine how we are moving for the next leg of the expedition, and then roll.
I'm going to keep an eye out for any more traps or anything else that might try to jump us.
So a wits. That's a being vigilant undertake.
Yep, stay vigilant with your wits.
Submit.
This is so much easier than the fucking Avatar one.
Right? Weak hit. A weak hit.
Barely.
Barely. Oh, barely. Oh, yeah. On a weak hit, as above, but this progress costs you. So you envision the location and mark progress per the rank as above, but this progress is going to cost, and we will choose one. Suffer costs en route. Make a suffer move at -2, or 2 suffer moves at -1, or face a peril at the waypoint. Envision what you encounter.
Suffer moves are lose momentum, endure harm, endure stress, companion takes a hit, sacrifice resources, withstand damage.
Yep.
I say sacrifice resources sounds interesting. But
this is their choice, though.
Yeah,
it is their choice. Yep.
Of course.
But you can take one of those suffer moves at a -2. You can take 2 suffer moves at a -1 each, or you can face a peril at the waypoint.
Kind of feel like it makes sense to face a peril at the waypoint because of the thing before.
Yeah, I will always encourage the more narratively interesting option. That's just my view on it. So it says face a peril, but where is the peril? Suffer moves, withstand damage, sacrifice resources, threshold moves.
And we still mark our
You're still marking progress, yeah.
I see face danger, but
Yeah, that's where I'm trying to find the peril. Peril. There are 11 matches for peril. Peril. Counter a new peril. New peril or foe appears. Peril, pay the price. Peril. It doesn't tell me what peril is, though. Peril lies ahead. Let's see here.
well, see, I'm also having complicated because like face peril could translate to face death, which is a threshold move. It could also translate to confront chaos, but it's not as literal in translation.
Hold on. Let's consult Starforged. I'm going to consult the oracle that is Google. Face peril.
the oracle.
Yes. What'll lead you to Reddit?
What's the peril? It did. The first option was Reddit. Yes, the great Reddit.
That's how you get
oracle.
answers to weird questions about TTRPGs.
Mm-hmm. All right. Peril. There is a peril to DVD. Yes. No, that's not helpful. What is the peril? 59. Okay, so there's apparently a table.
Is it? Maybe it's not in the quick start.
Peril. Yeah, I'm looking to see if there's anything else. The problem is like perilous and peril come up so much. It's very hard to just quick search it.
Yeah, in the quick start, it's face danger, face death, face defeat, face desolation. Those are the only face options.
Peeling the onion, 293. No, that's not it. Permanently harmed. No. All right, so.
Oh, yeah, I found it in the main thing. Face a peril at the waypoint. Introduce a danger that poses a hazard that does not inflict immediate cost. You'll need to take action to overcome or outwit this danger. This is the option to choose if you want to zoom in and give the threat some focus.
Where did you find that?
Page 171 of the rulebook.
171. Thank you for solving the outcome.
Yay, figuring out game.
Yeah. Decide what happens based on the. No, that's that. Where? How far down was it? Suffer cost en route.
Yeah, it's under suffer cost en route.
To suffer blows appropriated. Face peril. Oh, there we go. At the waypoint, introduce danger, poses a hazard. After immediate clash, you will need to take action to come out with this danger. This is the option you choose if you want to zoom in and give when you have accumulated. Okay, so I guess it's just ambiguous then. Oh, I feel like I should be able to roll something.
I could see you doing if you wanted to do face danger or something.
We still got at least 2 more moves to do before we get there. So
yeah. All right, let me try one more thing. Starforged tables, because there were a couple of nice tables that I had, and I didn't bring them up before this.
hello, rascal.
Realm settlements. That's all Ironsworn. That's not helpful. Not
Please
in this
don't
moment.
lay on my keyboard.
All right. Well, I think for the sake of keeping this moving, we will say that the peril that ends up being found here is going to be that it's still tied to this this signal, and you had been mentioned or had been warned by Sophie that there were more signatures being detected through your waypoint navigator, and I think this is when one of those signals emerges. And when I say like signals on a waypoint navigator, my head immediately goes to Aliens, where one of you is holding this little device and it's doing a little radar blip, and there were 3 dots on the radar blip the last time you had looked at it. Now there's 4. And so when you realize that there's 4, you all have a moment to look around and try and figure out where this thing is coming from. And you see that the vent directly overhead, there's a grate opening, and there are a pair of glowing green eyes staring at you. and
Like them on stalks, like I don't know, like God, snail. That's the word.
Okay. These long snail like eye stalks have emerged through the grates, and they're small and they're beady, and one blinks and then the other. And as you are momentarily disarmed by the arbitrary cuteness of this, a pair of large claws rip through the sides of the vent on each end, and now we are in danger. Because
Oh shit!
So
yeah,
much for everything being dead here.
yeah, yeah. Sophie had warned you that not everything here was dead. So this is us going into combat. So we are going to start with entering the fray. When you initiate combat or are forced into a fight, envision your objectives and give it a rank. If the combat includes discrete challenges or phases, set an objective with a rank for each. The objective to envision here is not to be eaten by this horrible creature, because it looks hostile and looks very mean. Um, so then you
So this
roll
would
this.
once again go into progress. Would it be troublesome, dangerous, formidable, extreme, or epic?
I feel like against the three of you caught unaware, this is going to be formidable. So you'll just add
Love
that
how
into your
this game
progress
like
track.
gives you your game journal just built into the fucking character sheet.
The
It's
person who made this
so
on roll
nice.
20 is a hero.
I guess we
Creature
all
feature. I
roll
love it.
to enter the fray.
Yeah, so everybody's going to need to roll to enter the fray. Um,
Aaron, is that you on my sheet?
I am on your sheet, but I'm not
Okay.
moving anything.
I just saw page has changed, so that's all.
I didn't change anything.
I'm a growl at it. I'm a face off against the foe.
Yep. Then you roll to see if you are in combat. If you are on the move, roll plus edge. If you are facing off against your foe, roll plus heart. In the thick of it, at close quarters, you roll plus iron. If you are preparing to act against an unaware foe, which you are not, roll shadow. If you were caught in a trap or seizing up the situation, if you are caught in a trap or sizing up the situation. I don't think you guys were caught in a trap either. It very much announced itself, so I don't think that one applies.
Yeah, but sizing up the situation.
Yeah,
Like if
that
you're,
one.
if you're taking stock.
It's just weird that it was that or the other, because none of the other ones were like, if you were fucked. It's like no.
Well, it's the getting caught in a trash compactor situation, you know.
Yep. All right, so please, everybody has a chance to roll for me. Geely has a strong hit.
I am in control. Means my
Why didn't mine not?
Don't know. Did you not select your modifier?
It could be behind your character sheet.
Mm-hmm.
Already checked.
That.
Try again, I
yeah.
guess.
I'm gonna. So, Gilly has like a. It looks old school. It's kind of, I guess, Fallout-esque, but
I'm
it's
rolling
a
a bunch now, Hunt. Just once.
it's a thermo handgun, so it shoots high heat charges.
Mm-hmm.
And like she just, as soon as she sees the eyes light up, she kind of flips it on and you hear it kind of get hot and she pulls it away from her clothes so it doesn't burn her like a motorcycle exhaust would. And she's just like staring at it, like ready to go.
Mm-hmm. So, only one of you had a strong hit, but everybody has a weak hit. So, strong hit has the option to choose two. A weak hit gets to choose one of the options. Mark progress, take momentum, add +1 to the next move, not a progress move. So if you choose to, where was it? I lost it.
Somebody tell me what you are in control means.
I was about to, but I was
Oh,
trying
there
to.
it is.
I was trying to
It's
see where the
yeah.
in control came from. Oh, there you go. On a hit, you stay in control. So everybody is in control. In a fight, your character is in one of two positions: in control or in a bad spot. If you are in control, you can make proactive moves such as gain ground and strike. When in a bad spot, you must make reactive moves such as react under fire or clash. The outcome of combat will move. The outcome of a combat move will describe your current position. When you make a move that doesn't define your position, such as a suffer move, follow the guidelines. On a strong hit, you are in control. On a weak hit or miss, you are in a bad spot. So,
So I guess we're all deciding on what we're doing proactively then.
yes.
Okay.
But please tell me what you guys are taking for your. Oh, I was looking at gain ground. That was my problem. On a strong hit, you take both +2 momentum or be in control. On a weak hit, you either take momentum or be in control. There was no progress tracking yet. I was looking at the wrong thing.
Okay. I feel like before this thing, before anyone else like destroys.
I need you to define what your success has first. We're not doing any moves yet. You had a weak hit, so you get to choose +2 momentum or be in control.
Oh, be in control.
Dougler?
In control.
And Naomi, you have both.
Yep.
Okay. So now we can talk about what everybody is doing.
I'm striking at a distance.
Okay.
As empath, before this thing gets smushed, I would like to use an ability to read the intent, emotions, or memories, particularly the memories of this nearby being. So I would roll heart.
I'm gonna get close and stab it.
Or secure an advantage.
Secure an advantage is not on this list. Why is it not on this list?
Because it's necessary
It's an
for the
adventure.
naturalist.
It's an adventure move.
Oh, okay. Never mind then. Don't worry about it.
Hmm.
I'm just gonna shoot the fucker in the face with my thermal charge.
All right, so Shay, you wanted to do something that wasn't combat oriented, so I'll let you go first. Strong hit with a match.
Ooh, fancy.
So what is this ability?
Okay. I will post it. Roll plus heart on a strong hit. I glance at a helpful aspect of their inner self, envision what I learn, take +2 momentum, and add +1 when interacting, which is going to be helpful fighting this. Since it's a strong hit, I want to see what is in this thing's recent memories and what happened to this station.
Okay. You reach out with your mind to try and get inside the head of this thing, and as you, I know what I can roll. I know what I can roll. I know what I can roll. Let's see here. You know, my tables used to be a lot more than this. I don't know why it shrunk down now that we're playing. Oh, that's why. Because I was looking at the moves table and not the oracle. Okay, that's why I had more options. Let's see here. Action and theme. Arrive and destiny. Okay. You reach out into this creature's mind and you have quick flashes and visions of where it was and where it came from before arriving here on the hearth. And you have brief glimpses of an ancient precursor civilization, one that existed in a space that is unfamiliar to you. It looks like it was a vast and prosperous civilization, and these are coming in like quick successive flashes. You're seeing, the success of a spacefaring civilization, and then you're seeing like the home world where these shadowy forms because they stay obscured in your vision. But you see these forms that are clearly the precursors that had existed in this civilization, living a wonderful and hospitable life. And then you're seeing this same familial rift or dimensional tear that you all have seen with the baleful presences that pop up here on the forge, or that had driven your people from their original homes. These same creatures emerge from this tear, and there are several tears that appear over planets and across cities, and these precursors are destroyed and consumed, and the single thought that emanates from this creature's mind is hunger.
They arrive with the destiny to feed.
And that's when we cut to the next person. So, shooting from a distance, Geely will take their shot.
I I'll what makes it a strong hit from here? Would I have to
You have
bring
to-
the 7 down to a 4?
You have
would
to burn
Mom-
5 momentum.
5?
you have to exceed the challenge dice.
You're trying to go from a miss to a strong hit would require 5 to make that a 9.
Yeah, you have to exceed the highest challenge dice.
Let's see then. Do. I'll be on 4 to just make it a normal hit.
A weak hit.
That would be a normal, weak hit.
Okay. So, and that was a
And
strike.
Mark 2 progress. I am now in a bad spot.
Yep. So you
These things take twice as long as our expedition has, so just keep that in mind. We have a long fight ahead of us.
Yep, this thing, but it's the action economy of you guys being 3 versus 1, so it should be fine.
Yeah.
Should be fine.
I'm not worried about us dying. I'm just concerned about the time it's going to take. We're going to be fighting this thing longer than we've been on planet side.
Yeah.
Wait, did you say this thing was dangerous or
I said
Formidable.
formidable?
So you have to mark formidable. There you go.
Yeah. So the way it works is troublesome.
No, I
think it's
got
3
how it works.
ticks.
So you would be marking progress twice, but you expose yourself to danger. You are in a bad spot. So you start blasting, and it immediately goes for cover. And it has not fully emerged from the vent yet, so I think it very much just hunkers down inside of it, and you can hear the sounds of it moving, but now as it has maneuvered into the cover of this vent, it has positioned itself directly behind you before it finally bursts out. And you end up seeing it in its full form now. The little beady snail eyes that extend out from its head seem to be the only non intimidating thing about this creature's form. It's very amorphous and kind of like a big bulky amoeba, but it seems to have that like feral gorilla form in this gelatinous creature state. But as it makes contact with the tile, there is the soft fizzle of its otherworldly nature making contact with this material, and the two substances meeting. It seems that reality is rejecting its existence, and it kind of fizzles away at from the touch at this thing. So it seems very dangerous. Then it would be Ava who wanted to get up close and personal with it.
Okay. Ava's gonna pull out her blade that is probably just a wee bit short of actually being a sword.
A short sword, if you will.
A sword.
And Tara's gonna go down her arm to reinforce her swing as she just goes to strike at it. And because Tara has 2 health and I have Blade Master, that's it. You'd add 1 for Blade Master and 2 from Tara.
Mm-hmm.
Close. That. And that's a strong hit.
That is a strong hit. And so, on a strong hit, you are able to wrong spot,
progress twice,
mark progress,
and you dominate your foe and stay in control.
Yep. And so, with your symbiotic companions strengthening your sword swing, you hear that same fizzle as the metal of this blade makes contact, but your iron is able to cut through. Something about the property of iron is withstanding the touch of this creature, and it reels back in pain as you slice into it. It does not like making contact with iron. And so only person who is in a bad spot currently is Geely. So what happens next? You enter the fray. Strong hits on the miss. The fight begins with you in a bad spot. What else happens? Do we just keep doing this? I think we just circle back to it. Okay, that's fine, because basically it'll just when bad things happen to you, that's when this thing will keep striking. So we'll circle back to Suru, who has an option to do something now that they've seen what's going on. This creature is bearing down on Geely, while Ava is trying to keep its attention.
Cool. I feel like gaining ground's probably a good role for me to make, because I can charge boldly into action, coming to the aid of others. In this case, I'm going to... Wait a minute.
I'm gonna stab it in one of those eye stalks with a soldering iron.
What are you looking for, hun?
Um, I was just trying to understand something in my assets that I could use in a move, but it doesn't make sense. I'll have to ask about it later. So I'm going to try and gain ground. So I see that Gili is currently this thing's target. So I am going to shift in front of it and in between them, and I would like to use my kinetics to shove this thing back in a way and try and gain some ground.
Okay, so you're coming to the aid of Gili?
Yeah.
So roll plus heart. And that's a strong hit. On a hit, you stay in control. On a strong hit, choose two of the following: mark progress, take +2 momentum, add +1 to your next move, not a progress move.
I'm going to mark progress and take 2 momentum.
Okay. So Suru has come in with their telekinesis and kind of pushes the creature away from a leaping swipe that is going to take at Gili, who will get to go next.
I am going to react under fire by trying to find a way out, and I think I see an opening between that has been opened up by
the force push.
Kiru. Yeah. So I'm going to try to take advantage of that, and I am going to make my move. Do 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 boop. Chow pow. Weak hit.
Weak hit.
So you avoid the worst of the danger and overcome the obstacle, but not without cost. I take one suffer move, and I'm still in a bad spot.
Yep. What are we suffering?
I'm enduring harm.
Okay. So
what would you say the harm would be? I'm getting fucking slobbered up by this thing.
Yeah, you're probably gonna get slobbered or swiped.
So is it one? Is it?
It's a endure harm at a -1.
Okay.
Oh, it's gonna still be minor.
Okay.
This is nothing too bad.
Hold on. I need to pull my character sheet back up. No damage, and I get a momentums.
A strong hit. Shake it off. If you are not wounded, take 1 health. Huh. You hadn't lost any health though, huh? You're embracing to take more momentum. Is that right? I was just reading. On a strong hit, you get to choose one option. Shake it off. If you are not wounded, take +1 health. Or you can embrace the pain and take 1 momentum.
Yeah, I'm taking the momentum.
Yeah.
So health goes down, but momentum go up.
Okay. Except for 1 for minor harm, blah, blah, blah. Okay, yeah, got it. Okay. And then back around to Ava, who still has advantage.
Yep. Striking seemed to work very well last time, so I'm going to do it the same once again. Using the same assets for buffs.
That is a weak hit.
Okay.
Just making sure we've ticked two progress on this, right?
I have a question for mechanically.
Let's do one question at a time.
Okay.
So you should have been marking Wing Dougler hit.
Yeah.
And I think you also hit Naomi.
Yeah, I hit on that first move. So would it be 3 or
you should be marking everybody's progress.
Okay.
Yeah. So whenever people are making progress, you should be ticking it. So I think it's 3. Because it should have been 2 from Dougler and I think 1 from you.
Yep.
Because Shay hasn't marked any progress on it. She's been helping. She's been
Support class.
Yeah, she's been battlefield controlling. I'm pulling my 4th edition terminology out. And yeah, so you have. I keep losing track of where I am on this thing. All right, strike on a weak hit. You mark progress twice, but you expose yourself to danger. You are now in a bad spot. And I think this time, as you bring your arm in to slash it again, its momentum from having hurt Geely is enough for it to bring around on a backswing and also swipe at you. It doesn't make contact because you bring the blade up in time to block it, but it pushes you back and it's got you on the defensive as well.
So as a note, there should have been marking progress twice for me as well, because I did strike as my first action.
Right, so make sure that's on there. So it should have been 2 from Dougler, 2 from you, and Dougler just did 2 more.
Okay, so we have it marked for 6th. Docs Sam.
Cool. Yeah, 6 is what I see too.
Okay. So 6 is where it'll stay. Back around to Suru.
Gosh, well, this thing's getting kind of beat up, isn't it?
How can you tell?
It doesn't have health. Smash.
I think at this point, since I'm still in a good position, I am going to go on the offensive, and seeing how it didn't react well to iron, and me wanting to stay away from it. Just thematically, I'm going to be using telekinesis to swing my blade, but I'm going to do a strike.
Okay.
And
do that strike.
My blade just flies at it. We can.
On a week. Wow, everybody's pushed back now. Suru makes the unfortunate comment of, wow, this thing's looking really beat up. And then it, both the eye stalks turn and look at her with that, oh, really kind of look. And as you try and come in and swipe at it as well, it catches one of your arms in its grip, and it burns a little bit, and it pushes you back. And now, as it slowly rises up onto its amorphous but still kind of morphous legs, a second set of arms emerge, and now it looks like it's ready to fight all 3 of you.
I do mark progress twice, though.
You do, but you are in a bad spot. The bad spot being that it is about ready to jack all of you up.
Yeah. But what happens when we fill up the...
When you fill it, it's over. Well,
Does
you'll
that
roll
mean
it.
It's over?
No.
Or did I count wrong?
No, it does not mean it's over. You haven't filled the bar yet. You're not there yet.
But I'm filling the progress twice now, though, right?
So by filling it twice, it means 2 ticks. It doesn't mean you double what you filled. It's only 2 ticks, dear. So you should be 2 away.
I mean, so I was 2 away?
No,
We're now 2 away. We have 8 balls.
After the hit.
Yes, when I say you should be 2 away, that means in your current state, not in where you were before you rolled it.
Got it.
That's why they established how many points they were at before your turn, which was 6.
Got it.
Okay. Geely.
A clash.
Clash?
Yeah, I'm gonna pull. I have a a soldering knife, like a high heat tool for like doing minor repairs to the ship or whatever. And I
Mhm.
just pull it out and I kind of run it into it and hope for the best.
Alrighty, go get them. YOLO.
Yeah, and this is a clash. Miss. Burn
Weak hit.
momentum. I get a weak hit. I burn one momentum to get that weak hit. Okay.
All right.
So I'll burn the momentum. I'll take the weak hit. Mark progress once.
So on a weak hit, we mark progress, but you are dealt a counter blow or setback. You stay in a bad spot and must pay the price.
Pay the price. Let's pay the price. I don't see.
Pay the
Not
price
here.
is at Fate Moves.
Oh,
It's
fate move.
bottom right.
I'm going to ask the Oracle for inspiration. Oracle, what do you think fits here?
Ask the Oracle for inspiration. Interpret the answer as a hardship or
A
complication.
new enemy is revealed.
Oh God.
An environment or terrain introduces a new hazard. Cause unintended collateral damage.
I'm assuming that it's asking. Oh yeah, pay the price, Oracle. Here we go. So roll on the table. You waste resources.
So I lose my knife. It just gets slurped up into the
Well,
bigger
resource is
pile.
a defined number too, so
Yeah.
it may be more that you don't lose the knife per se, but as you go to reach for this bag, some of the contents of your bag spill out, and they scatter across the floor and land in front of this creature. And as they make contact, they fizzle out of existence and are destroyed.
So would wasting resources
I'm just gonna say it's
supply?
it's gonna be -1 resource.
Okay, so supply, I'm guessing.
Yeah,
right?
supply. Yeah. All these ambiguous terms that don't match each other
Where is
Okay, well I'll
where
take
is
that one.
that located?
on pay the price.
Uh
I mean
Supply?
the supply.
It's
Oh.
on the summary tab, next to health spirit.
Yeah, it's
Oh, okay.
it's also on just the main thingy. You have 5 health, 5 spirit, 5 supply.
Gotcha.
Okay, but that's done. You jump at it and you spill some of the contents of your bag. They fizzle out of existence as they make contact with it. But your iron strikes, and it it smacks you as well. And Ava, you're up. Everybody
so-
is on the back foot.
Tara's gonna shift from Ava's arms down to her legs, so she actually just kind of jump back and use the weaker gravity here to rebound off the wall to go for another swipe with a clash. And
We'll roll that iron.
just look at use Blade Master and Tara.
It's a weak hit.
You're dead.
So you will mark progress, but you are dealt a counter blow or a setback as well. You stay in a bad spot and must pay the price. So we'll resolve paying the price first.
Okay. So I'm gonna take Endure Harm then. That makes sense.
Oh, I didn't mean to roll that yet. Sorry.
So make the most obvious. No, you got to actually roll on pay the price.
Oh,
Bottom right. It's gonna open up that Oracle window.
Let's roll the D100. 52 is a friend, comrade, or allies in harm's way, or you are if you're alone.
Ah, great. So I know how this works.
Always in danger. Put me in danger again.
I was gonna throw you into danger. I'm so sorry because
No, it's
the
okay.
two of you are in melee with it. So Ava springs forward with their blade, and I think it basically, as your setback kind of draws your attention, even though you had slashed at it, it has um, enough insight to see the attack coming, and it grabs you and it swings you into Ava. So the two of you collide as Ava's blade makes contact with it, and it goes into like its death throes and falls back in the opposite direction. So the two of you hit each other, and you're going to take the harm um, of being used as a human club. Um, and then it will die, or it will mark the full progress tracker. But please, Geely, roll endure harm. And it's going to be light again. Not a monster here. It's a weak hit. On a weak hit, if you are not wounded, you may lose momentum in exchange for +1 health. Otherwise, press on.
Well, I'm wounded, so I can't really do that.
Otherwise, press on. So I think it just means you take the
Yeah.
damage. Yeah. So you just take -1 health. And keep in mind that in this game, you do not have a whole lot of health. So Suru has rolled to see if the creature actually dies, and it's a strong hit, which means that it does in fact go down.
Oh, that's what that is.
Yeah, you have to actually roll to see if the thing is finished. You don't just stop when the bar is filled. You have to roll to
Yeah,
conclude it.
Yeah, that's what I
Oh.
did above and said, oops, I
Nice.
didn't mean to do that earlier, and that's what that weak hit was for the not be eaten by question mark.
Not be gotcha. Yeah. So Suru I was gonna ask for this roll anyway, so it's fine. It's a strong hit. I just want to make sure there's nothing else that happens for that though. Because there's obviously different stages of filling it. Progress. Oh, there's so much blank forms. Endure stress threshold moves, recovery moves, legacy moves, fate moves. Progress bar. Progress bar. Okay, that's nothing on the quick guide. Conclude. Oh, PDF not having the answers I need. Why are you not helpful?
How dare.
Anybody who finds it before me, feel free to chime in. Companions, connections. Nope. Alphabetical is not helping me in this case. Progress, maybe? Progress moves. There we go. 42, 43. Did you find something?
No, I was going to bring something up to the other PCs about health.
Oh. Finish the scene. So 42 or 391 should have my answer. 42. Progress moves, called progress moves, which utilize progress tracks to resolve the outcome of challenges. For example, to see how seize an objective in a fight, do decisive action. Progress move. Is that not right? Progress rolls. Here we go. It's called a progress roll. Important. It's not necessary. Okay. So important notes. It's not necessary to fill your progress track before making your progress move. You can try to end the thing sooner. It's just that the more you have, the better it is. When deciding whether to make a progress move, you need to weigh the chances of success against the risk of continuing to make preparatory moves. As with an action roll, if your progress score beats the challenge dice, it's a strong hit. If you beat one of the challenge dice, it's a weak hit. If you fail to beat either dice, it's a miss. The progress move will tell you how to resolve the challenge based on the outcome you roll. In the example below, compare the progress score of 5 to your challenge dice when making the progress move. The 6th progress box is only partially filled in and doesn't count towards the progress. What? Oh, we may have been filling this in wrong too.
Beep.
That's all right. It's a learning experience. So there are various levels of ticks here. So when it says mark twice, it's probably the plus because that's 2 ticks. It's like the clocks. You got to fill in the clocks. And so
So I think that's covered by the way the progress bars work. So
that's what I mean. So a single tick is the single slash. 2 marking twice is the X's. Then there's one for 3, and there's one for 4.
I don't think that's how it works. I think because when you look
it specifically says on here that one of these is not a fully filled box, and so it does not count towards it. And so where it has 4 ticks, those are being counted, and where it has 2 ticks, it's not being counted. So I do think it matters that you have to fill it.
I think the character sheet accounts for that with the difficulty of the tracker, though.
I don't think it does, because as soon as I'm clicking Shays,
if you go into extreme and you mark a tick, it's a single X in one box, and then it adds the crosses. But for formidable, it's a full tick in a box. For dangerous, it's 2 boxes with full ticks. In epic,
okay, I see what you're saying.
4 ticks per box. So I think the character sheet accounts for it.
Okay. I see what you're saying. Let's see. Check and just make sure. It just seems weird that it specifically says if it's not filling. Oh, no, here you go. How to mark progress. Each box in a progress track is filled with lines called ticks. A full box consists of 4 ticks in a star-shaped pattern. When a mover asset ability prompts you to mark progress, check the rank of the challenge and fill the appropriate number of boxes or ticks per the illustration below. The boxes in a track are filled progressively from left to right. Troublesome is 3 boxes. Dangerous is 2 boxes. Formidable is 1 box. Extreme is 2 ticks. Epic is 1 tick. So, yeah, it's like you said. Formidable is a whole box. Whereas Troublesome fills 3 boxes. Or Dangerous fills 2.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. So, there you go. So, it's not so much that it fills an entire one. It's just the easier it is, the faster it fills the track. Okay. That makes sense. But
yeah,
that being
for the tickage.
Yeah. And so basically when you guys are trying to resolve any of these things, including the expedition, more boxes means more dice or whatever that are, or a higher number that is rolled. And you have to, if your number exceeds, or it sets your target number, I guess, and your challenge dice are still rolled from what I'm seeing here. So in that case, you filled all 10. And so, obviously it'll conclude because you can't fail at the full bar. But if you, say, had 2 and you rolled that 7 and the 2, it would fail because the 7 vastly outweighs the 2. But if you had 8, it would have ended on a strong hit. or it would have been a weak hit, I think, because it had the 2. I think is what it said.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been a weak hit. But that being said, this thing is fucking dead. You guys managed to kill it. It was a rough fight for everyone, and I think that ends that. Do you all want to take a small break?
I'm almost done.
I know. Yeah, there's 30 minutes left, so we can take a break or power on. I just wanted to grab something to drink real quick, is all. Which I can do in
I'm
just
good.
a moment.
My headphones are long enough to walk over to my Brita filter, so I refilled my water a few minutes ago.
All right, give me just a minute. I'm gonna grab something to drink.
Okay, we can just vamp. Or roleplay.
I was going
Yes,
to
please.
heal anybody who needs being healed.
I'm not hurt. But
No?
you'll notice that tear goes from Ava's legs up to her arm, and she's kind of pats you on the shoulder because you are tossed into us.
So your symbiote needs to be healed? Is that what you're saying?
No, she's patting you on the shoulder because you're tossed into us. It hurt, so it's like trying to comfort.
Oh. Well, I am hurt, so I need to heal. But I gotta do it with my lowest stat because it's my lowest stat, unless my asset says otherwise.
What is heal?
Heal is either iron or wits, whichever is lower when healing yourself. When providing care to others, it's wits. When obtaining treatment from a companion, it's heart. And when receiving treatment from someone who's not an ally, it's iron.
Oh, I can
Yeah.
actually heal you in because I have good wits. Mind you, it's an engineer healing you, so it's going to be a lot of
Well, I kind of
paper
have
towel, duct tape.
I have healing gear, so I can just be like, here, use my stuff. Like I have fresh as oh no, what's the fucking word? As sterile as possible gauze packs as we can find in the sector and whatnot. So if you wanted to throw me a wits heal,
Sure.
and then I guess obtaining, I need to roll with heart. So
I
we
can.
both roll.
And there's no extra modifier. Oh, strong hit with a match. What does with a match mean, anyways?
I think it's for very specific circumstances. Fucking miss, what?
Match
Um,
would help if I spelled hit correctly. Spur navigator.
oh, why'd I roll that? I didn't need to, because you were doing the roll. Huh. Okay, well, I will take my +2 health, because I don't need +3. Yeah, I rolled for no reason. Learning experience.
Okay, I'm back.
Dougler healed me, and it worked.
Okay, don't roll while I'm not here, but I appreciate it. It's a fail,
Sorry.
as I see.
No, that was me fail, and then
Oh.
I realized only one of us needed to roll.
Mm-hmm. Okay. But there is a heal. Because yeah, the important thing is taking damage is really bad because you don't have a whole lot of health.
Yeah.
Um, but with that being said, the creature is dead. You see it kind of flickering in and out of existence, and its body is slowly starting to melt and dissolve back to whatever horrible existence it had emerged from. But the music still plays, and the corridor falls silent once more. You're not being heard.
It's a bale spawn. A very little one.
Well, I'm guessing there's probably more, because I don't think they'd be able to take an entire outpost.
Or maybe it did.
I wouldn't mind instead of like pushing forward here, I'd like to explore the waypoint. I
Mhm.
imagine there was probably like a communications deck or like a storage room or something
You're
nearby.
getting treatment right now, so I'll handle that.
That's fair enough. I just figure we should kind of scope out the area before we get to marching.
Mm-hmm. So, would like to explore. So, to explore a waypoint. Yep.
Yes.
There's that. That's a miss.
More misses.
Sorry, I just had to take a drink before I read all of this. On a miss, you encounter
immediate stewardship for a threat and must pay the price. On a miss with a match, instead you may confront chaos. It's not a match, so.
Yep. So
It's another one.
So I think the area that you choose to explore is the vent, because this thing had traversed through the vent because you were making your way through another one of those corridors, and maybe there was a room nearby that immediately appeared to be locked when you tried to open the doors, but you see that the vent had passed over it. So your first thought was to try and get to this room through the vent. And as you hoist yourself up to get into the vent, something happens where you get stuck. Maybe it was one too many extra shares of rations, or a jagged edge of the damage from the claws, but you get caught on something, and I feel that it's time to pay the price of getting into this vent without the rest of your friends.
Okay.
That's not going to work.
That applies.
Nope. Well, roll again for me. You were stressed, so please endure stress for me. Below endure for him.
Yeah. God.
Yeah.
On a miss, it's worse than you thought. You suffer an additional -1 spirit or lose momentum -2. If your spirit is 0, you must also when your health or whatever hits 0, you don't die outright. You endure you take the damage one. Face death, face desolation, overcome destruction, that stuff. So I think it's only mental strain, so it would have been -1 spirit for minor stress. And I think the getting stuck causes you to panic because it's confined spaces, it's darkness. What if one of those other creatures is there? That creepy freaking music is still playing. And so it's a miss. And so you suffer -1 more spirit, or you can lose 2 momentum.
I'm pretty good on momentum now, so I'll drop that. Although I was trying to max it out.
Yeah. So, and just it always stays at or it bases out at 2 or resets to 2, whatever. Yeah, the two of you are working on first aid, and poor Suru, you can see her feet kicking at the end of this open air duct, and to poor Soru, it feels like she's been trapped in there for almost over an hour and hasn't been able to move. For the two of you, it's only been minutes. She hasn't made any progress and appears to be stuck and panicking.
Ava's gonna walk over. And Terrace just kind of got up. tendril up, just kind of poke you in the butt. Like, you need help? Poke, poke.
Poke me again, and I will shatter your mind.
Hera, stop. She's serious.
Just give me a boost, please.
Sure thing. What would I roll for that? If I have to roll
Probably.
What are you rolling?
to give her a boost to just to get her through.
That's just narrative. We don't need to roll that. So you get up and help her. You can attempt another roll of it to explore the area.
Yes, let's make this horrible.
Listen, y'all wanted
Yes.
to explore the waypoint.
I just want to
that's not
get
horrible.
more legacy points because the quicker we get a tick box, the faster we get some experience.
Well,
That's
look,
not
I'm
how it
not
works. We're
thinking-
not speed running experience.
Yeah.
We're here for the narrative.
I know, but it works both ways. They work together in this game. It's fun.
Yeah. All right. So on a strong hit, you choose one. On a strong hit with a match, you may instead make a discovery, which you did not. You find an opportunity, envision a favorable insight, situation, resource, or encounter, and then take +2 momentum. Hey, it's that momentum you lost.
Hey.
Or you can gain progress. Mark progress on the expedition track per its rank.
Let's see.
And the obvious situation for this is you're given the helpful boost and you crawl through the vents and you drop out the other side into this room that you were trying to get into. And the first thing you do is unlock the door so that the others can come in. But what you end up seeing is... the answer is determined by your choice.
Oh.
That's why I'm waiting for you to
Right.
answer.
Let's do what is the expedition track? That's
under progress, and that's the expedition to common grounds in Koshiba Hearth.
Which she has not been marking.
It is currently at 6.
I thought we were. Wait a minute.
The one we finished was the not get eaten by ?
You are going to constantly be filling progress bars.
No, I cleared it by accident.
To the common grounds, that said a trouble, dangerous, or formidable.
It was formidable.
I thought that was the combat that was that formidable.
Yeah, the expedition was set to dangerous.
Oh, then set it to
Yeah,
dangerous.
It got cleared when we were messing with the stuff.
Okay. Well,
I'm gonna. I think I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna take opportunity, favorable insight, situation, or resource.
okay.
I think resource maybe.
So you end up seeing that what you had opened up into was like a small infirmary, and it's a good resource to find because one of your companions had been badly injured, and so Ava, I almost said Amy. Ava is able to help utilize these resources to patch Geely up a little bit, and Geely, you can take +1 back to your supply.
Okay.
From basically, you guys are able to use this to patch Geely up, and then you just ransack the rest of the medical supplies. There's no one
stuff
here.
I lost was probably medical supplies to begin with, so it makes sense.
It doesn't matter. It's all abstract. But yeah, it probably was. In this case, it feels like it's a fair enough exchange, especially since nobody is here to tell you otherwise. It's free salvage at this point.
The only person here to complain is that dead guy on the floor, but
And you see,
so probably not.
And you see half of the upper half of a partially dissolved medic who is leaned up against the wall, a look of horror on his face. Because
Please has a
if you
thumbs
say it
up.
into existence, it is now part of the narrative. No, it's just called collaborative storytelling.
I'm making a joke.
I know.
But he has a thumbs up, which means it's okay for us to take a shit.
Yeah, he died with a look of horror on his face and a thumbs up saying, please take my shit. Suru has made a roll, so hey, Geely, why don't you choose the next thing to do?
I just want to check, was that a progress roll or no?
She took supply.
Supplies.
Okay. So I will say let's undertake an expedition.
Alrighty. Are you going with speed? Are you going with stealth? Or are you going
No,
with
I'm
vigilance?
gonna be vigilant and keep my eyes out because they got the drop on us earlier.
They did.
Exploration move. Boop.
Explore a waypoint.
We hit.
We can't. As above, but but the progress costs you. Choose one.
I'm gonna burn and make that a strong hit match.
It would still be a weak hit. You need to burn 2 to beat the challenge.
A
match is when- a match
the
was when
match
the
is when the
challenge
challenge
dice
dies.
were
are
Dice are
matched.
doubled.
Got you. Okay. Yeah, I'm still gonna burn 2 to make it a strong hit though.
Okay.
Boop.
So on a strong hit, you reach a waypoint, envision the location, and mark progress per the rank of the expedition. This waypoint is probably like a set of dormitories. It would appear that as you like cross this corridor, you see that maybe like 1 or 2 of the dormitory doors are left ajar, so it could be a potential spot to explore, dangling that temptation there, or you can continue on seeing that how you are fairly close to your destination, maybe, possibly. Could just ignore it and roll to conclude the expedition.
Yeah, I was gonna say we finished the expedition on the next roll.
What was the other thing though?
I told them that there was a waypoint they could explore. It's dormitories.
I don't want to explore the
Shit, I-
waypoints.
Yeah, we can pick up some details here. I guess I'll look at like foot trunks and stuff like that. Is it
Let's
that kind of
let's
area?
roll to explore before we decide what we're looking through.
Yeah, let's let Dugward take this one.
All right, Ava, please roll and explore the waypoint.
And should automatically go to my wits, I think.
It is a strong hit.
Yes.
So on a strong hit, you choose one. On a strong hit match, you may instead make a discovery. Find an opportunity, envision a favorable insight, situation, resource, or encounter, and take +2 momentum, or you gain progress, mark progress on your expedition track per ranks. This would be where you start exploring through the footlockers and stuff if you want to find something.
I kind of want to find something. I kind of want to dig through and find like a security card that will hopefully unlock a more secure door later on.
Hell yeah, I think so. So you find a blue access card. It has the ability to open all blue access doors.
Run stage journal that tells us the history of the past month on the block.
Yeah. There's 4 itchy tasty, as it were. But these dormitories, it clearly seems to have belonged to whatever accounted for as security detail here within the hearth. Brain fart. And it seems like there isn't like a detailed journal of what happens, because all evidence seems to indicate that it happened suddenly. So nobody was like, let me stop and journal this. It's eating my leg. No, nobody
So, like,
actually does
the
that.
dude in the cave in Skyrim.
Yeah, it's not a video game, so nobody was chronicling their death as it was happening to them. But you do rifle through some logs, hoping to find something to that effect. But it's really just a lot of boring details about this security guard's life, and it's not very interesting outside of the fact that it seems like he was having an affair with his security guard buddy's wife. And so, hey, you do what you got to do here in the hive of scum and villainy, but there you go. But you do find his key card, so that's helpful. As we are nearing the end, we will do one final roll, which it comes back around to Suru, which you can either continue doing the expedition or you can attempt to just stop it now. See if this is enough to get you where you need to go.
Yeah, I'll give it a shot.
All right, roll to conclude.
Hey.
Yay.
All right, with a strong hit, that means that it's concluded. Let's see here.
That means we make it to the common grounds.
Yes, it does.
And
I'm just making
we
sure you
get
don't have anything
2
else.
ticks in our legacy tracker.
Yep. If you are successful, you make progress, move to fulfill your vow, forge bond, or finish expedition. Anyone who was part of the shared challenge earns legacy reward and marks the appropriate legacy track. Next page for how that works. Blah, 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 blah.
So that's under discoveries then.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So you have an X now.
You have an X with a line because
Yeah, it should be
chaos earlier.
It should be 3 ticks because yes, as mentioned,
Okay.
the confront chaos brought you up a little further. Yeah. That being said, that's marked. And so what we see is where we had jumped the gun a little early by describing the common areas. We're going to change it up a little bit since we've added more detail to what you're seeing now. This common area, this thoroughfare, avenue, street, whatever you want to call it, in this domed settlement, it seems to be the main thoroughfare for where commerce and recreation all seems to happen. And Sophie had indicated that the signal was coming from the cantina that was at the center of this area. The best place to put your foot traffic is right in the center. So the cantina is strategically centered at the center of this area, and it looks like people had abandoned this place a while ago. Days, if not weeks, that these things had attacked, and you end up hearing the radio's song. It changes, and it changes from that really soft melodic music to something probably even more ominous. It starts playing and it goes, "Nowhere to run to, baby, nowhere to hide." And as it starts playing over your intercoms, we see the camera has changed from the perspective of the 3 of you to the perspective of somebody atop one of the buildings, and they are looking through a long-range scope, and the scope's crosshairs have centered on... I'm going to roll a d3 because I feel like targeting Naomi for a 3rd time is not fair.
Right?
Hey, look at that. It zeroes in on Geely again.
Of course it does.
The crosshairs zero in on Geely. I rolled it, though, to be fair.
It's okay.
Yeah,
I'm not mad about it. We're playing a game.
Yeah.
Fun.
It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get shot. It's just the dramatic moment of who it zeroes in on.
You know who this is? This is the Earthbender from our previous game.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know who that is, but sure.
The one who got coffee in his face.
Oh no! See, we're not bringing back up bitter moments because coffee.
Yeah.
No, it has nothing to do with that. But as this song is playing, you all kind of have that moment to pause and consider what's going on with it. And as the scope and the crosshairs line up on Geely, it cuts to black, and you hear the sound of a gunshot go off, and then it starts to roll the credits because that's going to be where we end. Dramatic, I know. So, we don't have to go over any wonderful experience because you earn experience as we go through. Is there an actual end of session?
No.
End of session. When you end a significant session or chapter of play, reflect on the events of the game and identify any missed opportunities to mark progress.
I think that does it. I think that'll happen next time. I think this is a two episode.
Yeah,
session.
this seems like a two-parter. The hilarious thing would be if this was the segue for Kay to join if she actually joins this game.
That would be good.
Kay is the one who shot us.
Kay's the shooter. Yeah, so
she would have shot the
We could
monster
use a range
right next to us.
person.
you can't say that stuff out loud before the next episode. That's like the worst kind of spoilers.
Look, I didn't know.
You know, I mean, yeah. So the sniper scope changes from Geely to Suru, and it actually shoots her. But anyways, thank you everybody for watching. Thank you if you stopped by or if you retweeted us over on Twitter. Or if you're listening to this on YouTube. You're all wonderful and we love you. We will be back on Saturday to hopefully get a Pathfinder game started if our one player who was horribly, horribly sick has finally recovered. But who knows? I haven't checked in on her today. So maybe they're feeling better, maybe they're not. But we'll plan to start up then and we'll see how things go. Until next time, everybody be well. And we will see you for another game of No Force